This local sports report is brought to you by the Inn of Waterloo and Conference Center. Check us out for all your conference, event, and guest room requirements for any of your out-of-town fans. Let us be part of your home team. We are here to exceed your expectations. Book now by calling 519-804-1130 or visit theinnofwaterloo.com.
Mike McDonald will lead the Waterloo Region Predators junior varsity team when the OPFL season hopefully kicks off in the spring in a couple of months here. Mike is the new head coach and he joins us now. Congratulations, Mike. First of all, what excites you the most about this opportunity to be the head coach of the junior varsity Preds?
I'm so excited you said it, for this opportunity, but I'm just excited to get back on the field and actually start to play some football. We had a meeting last week with some of the players, and they are so excited and so energized to get out there. And it'll just be nice to fly around and let them hit someone, let them actually get that energy out. And I'm really excited for it. I've seen the Predators in years past and what they've done, and I'm really excited to see what we can do this upcoming season.
Seems like you have a lot of energy as well, and you're just anxious to get going. What can the players expect from you as the head coach, Mike?
So big things they can expect from me are, number one, I'm honest. I'm going to be right, tell them as it is. So if I think they can improve or work on something, I'm going to be there to pump them up and tell them, hey, this is a way that you can be better in the future. I'm going to be a cheerleader too. I'm going to be telling them, hey, let's go. I'm making sure they understand where they're at in the pecking order, how they can get better, but also when they do something right, be there right in their corner, jumping on top, giving their head a little slap and saying, let's go. So I think you need to find a fine line there. But the big thing in my philosophy, at least in coaching, is keeping it simple. I don't want them to be thinking about 40 plays a game on defense, especially being like, what are we doing here? I want them to fly around and be athletes that they are. I want them to have fun using their instincts and making plays and not thinking too much, but just going towards their instincts more than worrying about my playbook.
Let's assume everything goes perfectly in the next month or 2 months and we're able to get going with the OPFL season at the beginning of May. What are the goals and the focus for this year's group? It will be your first season in the OPFL, obviously great teams, and I think 2 great local rivalries, which is going to be exciting for everybody.
Everyone loves a rivalry. And I think the big thing we need to start off with, because it's been a while since people have been on the football field, is getting back to that fundamentals and getting them to improve day by day. As I said in the meeting, I want us to improve by 5 to 10% every week and steadily grow. I don't want us to be the best right off the start. I want us to be the best at the end. And a lot of times, if you peak at the start and stay on that level, people are going to surpass you. And I want us to really work on, hey, we might not be the best right now, but let's just see how that path to victory goes. And by the time we hit the playoffs, let's hope we're going 100, 110%, and we are flying around. So yeah, that's my goal.
I've seen a lot of news on the Instagram feed for the Junior Varsity Predators here the last week or so. You've been a busy guy, bringing in a lot of different coaches, a number of them from the University of Waterloo Warriors, current players that are in the OUA right now, Jacob Fulcher, Cullen Grant, just to name a few. What do you like about the coaching staff that you've assembled, and what kind of difference do you believe this group can make for the athletes?
Well, first of all, the excitement they're bringing is amazing. We had a talk last week and their energy was just oozing through the camera, and they are so ready to get out there and bring the knowledge they've learned from the university game and really pass it down to our team as well. I think too, the idea that developing that little pipeline from the University of Waterloo down to the Predators is so important as well, because like the University of Waterloo, and especially their football program, does a lot for our community. They try and give back, and they are really excited about their players coming and making a difference in what we're doing. And the fact is, too, they have a different background than I have. I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, so we play football a little different than out here, but I like what they're bringing with their new ideas and innovations, and I want to feed off that, too. I know I don't know everything, and I want to hear what they can bring and their ideas so that we can become that better team going forward as well.
Let's talk about that pipeline a little bit, because these are still junior varsity players. But I think it's important early, especially when you're playing club football, because a lot of the goals for these players is to eventually play university football, whether that's OUA football, out west, doesn't matter where. Having that group of coaches who are current players, obviously yourself, you bring a different viewpoint as well, coming from Saskatchewan. That pipeline, I think, could be really huge for the Predators in terms of getting these kids ready and telling them the right things when they're this young, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And the biggest thing I think we need to show them is you need to practice to perform at a later time. And so by learning these fundamentals and learning these skill sets at a grade 9 or 10 range, yeah, you're still a couple years away from university. But if you're learning it then, and then you're making steps by grade 11 and 12, you're going to get better and better. You're able to really excel and showcase to those coaches at the University of Waterloo or wherever how you can play. And for a lot of these coaches, they're looking at you in grade 9 and 10, starting to analyze, starting to say, this person, pay attention to them, pay attention to them. So yeah, we're only grade 9 and 10, but like we want them to develop those fundamentals and those core competencies. So then it becomes ingrained in them and becomes almost part of their just like natural instincts. So when they do hit grade 11 and 12, they're able to focus on other things other than just basic footwork or 3-point stance takeoff or so forth.
Let's talk a little bit about your experience, a little bit of your history. You've already mentioned you came from Saskatchewan, but you've also coached locally here in Waterloo region with the Cameron Heights Gaels. You were the defensive coordinator under Johnny Forte, who's an amazing guy and does so many great things to that Gaels football program. Tell us a little bit about yourself and just the experience you've got and, you know, taking on this new role and this new opportunity.
Yeah, so I've coached everywhere from high school to university. I've kind of done it all here and there. And what I've learned I've been lucky to coach under some pretty incredible coaches and some pretty incredible people. And what I've always learned is everyone has their own way and everyone has their own philosophy of how things can be done. There's no right way to run a program. It's depending on how you're going forward with the passion. That's really what matters. And if you really believe in the concept going forward, that's what it takes. And so, for example, a guy like Johnny, phenomenal guy, that guy oozes passion, just oozes excitement for football. And more importantly, cares about these kids. You got to care about the kids first in order to perform. And I think that's one thing I've taken from Johnny is I want these kids not only to be great football players on the field, but great men and women like outside of off the gridiron too, and able to contribute in a certain way. And I really feel that by being good role models at this type of age and helping these kids fall in love with football and fall in love with that teamwork, camaraderie, hard work, it's going to serve them better, whether they decide to go on with football or not at the next level. It's going to make them better individuals going forward.
Life skills.
Exactly.
And I think those are things that maybe more than any other sport, football teaches those things. And I think you're right. If you produce good football players and you ultimately put good people out into the world, then I think you've done the right thing. Last one for you, Mike. I just want to talk to you about the message you would have right now for the players and the parents. Obviously, it's challenging right now. It looks like we're moving in a good direction, but everything's unpredictable. What would you like to say to the players about maybe some of the things they should be doing right now? Because there is a very real possibility that we could be kicking off a season the beginning of May.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the big things you want to start doing as a player is start getting active in some way. I know gyms aren't open, but even if you're doing push-ups or sit-ups or body weight squats at home, like start to really get some weights lifted, start to do those exercises, start to get out for even a run. I know it's freezing out right now, but like just start, like run up the stairs, start getting active. But what we're hoping to do by the end of February is start to bring in the players who have signed up for the Preds and get them on Zoom calls with their offensive and defensive side of the ball and start to go over playbooks with them. Along with that too, we want to start actually giving them some workout stuff as well that they can do around the house and start to get prepped for the season. Because if you come in April and you're not in shape, or if you're feeling sluggish, you're going to be starting down here where some other people are going to be starting up here. So you really got to hit the ground running and be ready to go, because trust me, when we get to in April, if we start going, I'm going to make you run. and I'm going to make you work hard because we want to be flying once we hit the game or once we hit the season. So start prepping right now, start getting excited. Even if you're going for 1 or 2 runs a week or doing some stairs or whatever, just every little bit helps. So just start building it now. So when we hit the season, you're good to go.
He has as much energy as his junior varsity football players. That is Mike McDonald, the new head coach of the Waterloo Region Predators JV team. Thanks for the time, Mike. We certainly appreciate it and look forward to seeing you soon at the field.
Awesome. Thanks so much, and go Preds.
For more highlights, visit our website, 519sportsonline.ca. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.